Hello, ladies, my Christian businesswomen building wealth group members. I'm so excited to share today, like always, when I get on here and share with y'all. But today's topic is incredibly exciting to me, and I hope that it will be also incredibly exciting to you. So, we are talking about doubling and multiplying your money, and we're going to learn from the parable of the talents on how to do that. So, first of all, I'm going to start off with a big confession. We are cruising to the Bahamas this summer. My family of five is, and we're not cash flowing it. Okay, so that means it's not coming out of our income. That means that we didn't have the money this year to be able to do that, but we found out our friends were going and we thought, "Oh, wow, like we really want to be able to go with them on this cruise, spend time with them." We've discovered last year that we absolutely loved being on a cruise. And it's just great family time with no pressures from the outside world, which is super, super fun. So we really wanted to go. So we thought, how can we make this work? And no, we're not putting it on a credit card, right? Which is what a lot of people would do. We actually withdrew money from an investment that we started back in 2019 to be able to do this. So the money that we're using for this is money that has grown and dividends that have been produced from this money we invested back in 2019. And in that time, that investment has more than doubled. So we're just simply shaving off the top of that investment and using that money. So it's not even our money, like the original investment and even more than the original investment is still in there. But we're able to go on this cruise because of that. Okay. This is money that has multiplied as we've been sleeping for 7 years, literally. Okay. Like we put it there 7 years ago, haven't touched it. Now it's extra money. We're just pulling off the top. Okay. That's only in 7 years. Okay. I think that we all want the overnight success that we think about. Even when we think about the parable of the talents, we're like, ooh, they doubled their money, they doubled the talents, right? But, and this is why like passive income is so popular, which by the way, there's not anything truly passive except investing and letting your money grow while you sleep, in my opinion. So I think that whole like double your money overnight, like multiply your money overnight, that kind of thing, become the 30K business owner overnight, 10K business owner, whatever your next goal is. I think that can sound super flashy and super exciting, right? But when we look at the parable of the talents, that's not the way. Okay, that's not the way. And actually taking into account the whole Bible, that's not the way that the whole Bible represents wealth and represents doubling income and increasing wealth. In fact, steady plotting brings prosperity. That's in Proverbs, right? Steady plotting, consistent. I feel like there's another being diligent, right? There's another scripture around being diligent. It's not about the overnight success. Okay. So with that said, I am going to share two very key pieces in the parable of the talents with you today that too many people miss. And I really want to hear your thoughts, okay? Because I want you to know, first of all, is doubling your money possible in today's time? And I've already shared that it is, which is why we're going to be able to cruise to the Bahamas this summer. And also, not only is that possible, but what does it take so you can double your money? And if this is exciting to you, if you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I would like to hear this, and you want to hear this pretty quickly today, put a 1 in the comments, okay? Put a 1 in the comments if you want to learn that and if you're excited about this. Okay, so let's read the parable of the talents. And y'all, I have my physical Bible here. I think too often we result in looking at apps and not in reading our physical Bible, but there's just something about opening our physical Bible and reading from His Word in the Bible that we have and not on the app that is just really, really cool. So if y'all haven't opened your physical Bible recently, I definitely recommend that. Okay, let's read the parable of the talents, which is found in Matthew 25:14 through 28. And I'm going to emphasize a few words that have probably seemed insignificant to you in the past. So I want you to listen really, really closely, okay? So Matthew 25:14. Again, it will be like a man going on a journey who called his servants and entrusted his property to them. To one he gave 5 talents of money, to another 2 talents, and to another 1 talent, each according to his ability. Then he went on his journey. The man who had received the 5 talents went at once and put his money to work and gained 5 more. So also the one with 2 talents gained 2 more. But the man who had received the 1 talent went off, dug a hole in the ground, and hid his master's money. After a long time, the master of those servants returned and settled accounts with them. The man who had received the 5 talents brought the other 5. Master, he said, you entrusted me with 5 talents. See, I have gained 5 more. His master replied, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share your master's happiness. The man with the 2 talents also came. Master, he said, you entrusted me with 2 talents. See, I have gained 2 more. His master replied, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share your master's happiness. Then the man who had received the 1 talent came. Master, he said, I knew that you are a hard man, harvesting where you have not sown and gathering where you have not scattered seed. So I was afraid and went out and hid your talent in the ground. See, here is what belongs to you. His master replied, you wicked, lazy servant. So you knew that I harvest where I have not sown and gather where I have not scattered seed. Well then, you should have put my money on deposit with the bankers so that when I returned, I would have received it back with interest. Take the talent from him and give it to the one who has 10 talents. For everyone who has will be given more, and he will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what he has will be taken from him. And throw that worthless servant outside into the darkness where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. I don't like that last part. That is not fun to think about. All right, so what did y'all hear in there? Did you hear some interesting things that might have seemed insignificant to you previously, but now all of a sudden, like, they make sense a little more? So the first thing is first of all, the master entrusted his property to them. So he was giving them talents while he was gone, right? Now, what does that sound like? God entrusts us with his provision, right? He owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. The silver is gold, the silver is his, the gold is his. Like, it's all his anyway. Like, everything on this earth is his, and he is entrusting us with a portion of his provision for us, right? So that's the first thing to realize here. And then the other thing that really jumped out at me is that when he gave the one who had 5 talents and 2 talents, so the ones that actually doubled their talents, right? When he gave them the talents, they immediately at once went and did something with it. They didn't wait around and like, oh yeah, maybe I'll do this, maybe I'll do that. Let me let it just sit in the bank for a little while and think about it. Let me go research this investment and see if that's a good idea on how to steward my money and how to invest my money. They immediately went and did it. So does this tell me like we should make impulsive decisions with our money? Of course not, right? This tells me they had been practicing financial stewardship for a very long time, so that when opportunities like this came about, they knew exactly what they would do with it in that moment. And exactly in that moment, it was a very wise decision that they were making because, again, they had experience, they had practice, they had been being very good stewards for a very long time and had lots of practice with it, okay? So that's the first thing. First, we must master stewardship. We must learn to make solid, wise decisions with our money now. We must be faithful with the little, and then you can be trusted with much. Like, that's a biblical principle. It's very much in this parable. It's also in Luke 16:10. Through solid and wise decisions, that's how we create more breathing room in our finances. That's how we free up money to invest. Okay. Did y'all know that one third of millionaires never make six figures? It's not about how much money you make, and it's not about making more and more money. Yes, I want you to make more, right? Like God has given you the ability to create wealth. Make all you can, right? Because God's just giving you more and more of his provision for your family and for your generosity that we know that you're going to have when God gives you more, right? So make more, yes. But the focus is not on actually making more, but it's on doing more with what you make. That's the principle of being faithful with the little. Not on making more, but doing more with whatever it is that you make. Okay? That's huge. Okay? So the first thing is master financial stewardship. Okay? And when we what is even stewardship? Stewardship is managing the money that God gives you, right? It's managing the money that God gives you. And I know that all of you want to be good stewards and you want to make solid, wise decisions with your money. And that is exactly what stewardship is, okay? Whether it's, do I pay off debt? Do I save? Do I save? Do I invest? Right? Like those are stewardship decisions. And at first, those can't be decided overnight. But over time, as you practice stewardship and you take one step at a time to get to where God is calling you to go for your full and your abundant life, those decisions become easier and more automatic. And that's what you want. You want stewardship to become more automatic in your life so that you don't even have to think about it. But at first, you do have to think about it, okay? And you need a way to be able to make solid decisions in a different way than you've ever made them before. By the way, that's where my VIP money coaching program comes into. So if you're interested in my VIP program on mastering financial stewardship, put VIP in the comments and I will give you next steps. Okay, so the first piece of this is mastering financial stewardship. Okay, so the second thing and last thing on this is in verse 19, it says, after a long time, the master of those servants returned and settled accounts with them. So that money had doubled after a long time. Okay, we want to be so excited about the overnight success. That's what we get promised on social media as business owners, that we're going to get that overnight wealth, right? Like we're going to make that overnight six-figure income or whatever. The truth is, it takes time. Okay, it takes time to grow your business income, first of all. But it also takes time for your investments to double, okay? It's not meant to be overnight. We're not meant to have all this instant gratification that the world promises us, right? Waiting is good, and learning how to multiply money while you sleep is good, okay? So the second thing is investing and knowing how to invest. And to be able to do that, you've got to know and you've got to be educated around it and what that actually looks like, as well as the risks and the benefits of it. And I know for a lot of you, investing can seem super scary. So especially investing in the stock market, okay? Which, by the way, is how we doubled our money. And that's how the majority of our investments are invested in the stock market. And I've been investing in the stock market since 2009, by the way. It is not scary at all. It is very worth it, in my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. I can't give you any guarantees around this, but I can tell you that it has a 100-year track record of being successful and of always going up over time, okay? And I'm going to share more about this in my event in April, all about diving in more into the parable of the talents and diving into how you can get comfortable with the stock market and how it's not going to be so scary. Because to be able to make wise investments, you have to know about and you have to be educated around it and know what that looks like. So if you're interested in learning more about the stock market and about not making it so scary, put stock market in the comments, okay? Put stock market in the comments and I'll get you on the list to let you know whenever I do that event. Okay. So yeah, y'all, I want you to get to the point that you're doubling your money. I meet way too many business owners who have focused on more and more and more income every single year, and all of their wealth and all of their finances are caught up in them making money. Okay. It's time to get your money making money. It's time to get your money multiplying while you sleep so that whatever opportunity God brings you in the future, like being able to go on a cruise with some of your best friends for 20 plus years, whatever opportunity that gives you, you literally can have the money to do it. Um, and you can make a wise decision around it, and the money's there. Okay. All right. If this was helpful, put a 2 in the comments. I would love to hear if this was helpful or inspiring to you. And what questions do you have? Let me know your questions because I want to make sure I answer them in the event in April. So tell me, why does the stock market seem scary to you? What seems so scary about it? Okay. I want to know what that what that looks like for you. All right. You'll have a great day and a great week. Bye, ladies.